Hello, I'm Damon Mercier, and today we're going to take a look at a PCIe Passthrough with XCP-NG using HPE hardware. We're actually going to look at the DL380 here, the Gen 8 server, and how that is configured, and the extra steps you've got to take in configuring the firmware and BIOS on the server to enable the pass-through to work. In our lab here we use a lot of PCIe Passthrough, as we've got physical hardware such as tape library and optical jukeboxes that use SAS and fibre channel interfaces, and we regularly switch between different operating system builds, customer configurations. This enables us to test new versions of software, build proof of concepts and demonstrations. So what we'll actually do is I'll bring up a picture here for you to make it a bit easier. We can actually see we've got a fibre channel card in the back of the DL380. And if we also look at the DL360 here, the Gen 10 one, you'll see we've got a SAS and a fibre channel card. Okay, let's move over to the computer. Okay, so first things first, as this is a Gen 8 server, the HPE have what they call a shared memory, or RMRR, which is basically part of the health monitoring. This actually grabs all of the PCI devices and prevents us passing through with XCP-NG or Proxmox or any of the other hypervisors. So the way to disable this on Gen 8 is to use the HP scripting utilities, and there is a command called comrep which can be used to pass through the commands to actually exclude them from this health monitoring. So this would be the command we would run, so it would be comrep, and we'd actually have the comrep_rmrds.xml file, and then we'd specify what's to be excluded in that file. First of all, run that command, and this will reconfigure the BIOS on the server. The tools for doing this can be obtained from the HPE websites. With XCP-NG, it is running or built upon CentOS 7. Therefore, you can actually run the Red Hat 7 utilities. These appear to run successfully on my server here. Okay, so once that's done, the next stage then we actually need to find the PCI address of the card and then exclude that from the hypervisor. Again, this is done with a single command. So if I run this command now. Okay, so to exclude the PCI card from the actual hypervisor, we first need to find the PCI address. The easiest way to do this is using LSPCI. In this case, it's a QLogic card, so I'm going to grep for QLogic. So you can see here that the actual host card address in this case is 07 and 07.1. Okay, so next we'll run this command, which I've actually already done. And then we need to reboot the actual hypervisor. I'll make sure reboot. Okay, so the server's rebooted now. And what we can actually do now, if we run the command PCI assignable list, we can see we've actually got two devices. The two devices were reserved from the hypervisor that we can now assign to a virtual host. So first thing we need to do is find the host name. So easiest way to do this is we do xevm-list. This will list all of the machines on there, and what we'll do is actually plug this into this machine here, Ubuntu 00. And the way we'll do that then is to run this command here. Okay, I'm just going to copy the machine ID and I'm home here, and I'll just copy the command line. And I should be able to paste the command in. Okay, so we've got the command, which is parameter set adder config, and it's PCIe. We've got the two adapter addresses and the machine address. So this is now being assigned. If we now start the VM up, I'll just into the console, and we will start that up. In fact, let's switch over and I will share the console with you. Okay, so you can see I've started up machine here, and we'll just log in. Okay, so I've started up the machine and I've logged in. And if we open up a terminal on here, we should be able to do is no less PCI. And what we should see in here is we've actually got the QLogic device passed through. Okay. Obviously we can assign these cards to multiple machines, but the physical hardware can only be in use once or on a single machine at a time. Okay, thank you.